Hi everybody, it's Sally from Sally Stampers. Thank you for joining me today. Today I'm bringing you quite a quick and simple project, but unfortunately we are getting close to that dreaded time of year, Christmas. And obviously we've had our catalogue out now for a couple of months, and obviously we've been using and playing and having great fun with all of the stamps and the products that are in there, and that's great, and they are all fantastic. I always somehow end up having what I call a bag of scraps, and I'll just grab it for you. And basically it's all my offcuts of my Christmas paper. The ones for the annual catalogue, bar that strip there, which is the fancy foil, but the ones from the annual catalogue are actually in with the annual catalogue DSPs, but these are my scraps for Christmas ones. Now obviously, as you can see, there's some that are a decent size that I could use on a card or something, and then I've got others that are thin strips that potentially aren't that much good at all. Now, ideally the thin strips you could use to make paper chains. Obviously I know I've made them as a child, and I'm sure that there's a fair few of you that either have or still do make them, and they're ideal for that. But I had some offcuts from this beautiful, I forgot the name, Merry Little Christmas DSP, and so I just decided that I would try and have a go at making a bow. I'm just double checking the name here because I don't want to give you wrong information. Yes, Merry Little Christmas DSP. And as I say, I had some bits that were left over, and I thought, well, they're a decent size, but I don't want to cut them up to use onto a card because that wasn't it. So I thought, well, how about I have a go at making a bow? Now, the bow that actually inspired me is in the catalogue. If I can just dig it out. It's on the Christmas Around the World suite, and it was actually this one at the top of the catalogue here that I thought, oh yes, I'll have a go at doing that. But when I tried to do the double bow bit, it just didn't look right at all. So in the end I thought, well no, let's just stick with one bow. And so I just played around with some measurements and came up with these two, which I think are great. They're a great size. Obviously this one, as you can see, is a real good size for a big present, and then I've got a smaller one that's ideal just for a slightly smaller one. Now obviously one of my previous projects, I think this week or maybe last week, can't remember, was my chocolate box, my quilted Christmas chocolate box. Now in relation to that, you can see you could make a nice big bow to sit on it, or you could make a small one. It just gives you an idea of size, but it also shows that you could actually decorate the box with just a bow and it would look quite nice. So I'm just going to show you how I made them, and like I said, they actually are relatively quick and simple. So I shall make both of them just to show you that they are easy. So I'll leave them there just so you can still see them. So I'm going to make the large one first. I'm still using the same DSP here. I've got this lovely green stripy one. So as you can see, you need 2 strips of 6 inches by 1. So again, if you're using the Quilted Christmas DSP, you can obviously use it because it is 6 by 6. So you need 2 pieces that are 6 by 1, 2 pieces that are 4 by 1, and then one that is 2 by 1. And that's all you need. And obviously if you want to add a little gem or whatever, that's fine, but that's all you need. So to start off with your 2 long ones, turn them over and then just simply add some snail onto either end, and then just loop them over. And it's, to be fair, it's very similar to how they're made with the Bow Builder Punch, but obviously these, you can vary the sizes dependent on your DSP. So once you've made your 2 loops, you simply add some to the end of one, and then just, there goes that lorry again, it's fate, isn't it? So you just add a little bit of glue there and just stick those 2 together. With your small little 2 by 1, just add your glue to that one, and then you just need to put this over the centre. Now have the bit that's going to be the back towards you and lie this flat, because what you need to do is make sure you're going to get this central, because if it's off to one side it's going to make your bow look odd. So make sure that you've got it fairly equal and stick it onto the middle, and then obviously you just fold these 2 ends over And don't worry about this bit because it is going to be hidden by these two tails. So I'm using my triple banner punch here just because it's easier for these ones, and just punching those, whoops, those tail ends there. And then likewise again, let's just pop some glue on either end, turn your bow back over and just give these a little push just to make them obviously round. And then we just add our tails. Now I, excuse me, I held these in place, made sure that they were the equal length and that they sat nicely at the back, because they need to be equal here, because again it will look odd if they're not. And then once you're happy, you can just stick them on. Now obviously if you need to add a small square just to reinforce all of that, you can do, because I'm quite happy that that's going to be stuck on a present, so you're not going to see it anyway. If you want to curl your tails here, just simply get your bone folder and just give them a real gentle curl, and they will just curl for you. And then I've just got my faceted gems here. I'm just going to use the gold one on this one to just pop it in the centre, just to add a little bit of bling, I suppose. And that's it, simple. So to make the smaller one, and as you can see I'm using the inside and outside of the two colours, and it's just pretty much the same. So you need 2 at 4 3/4, 2 at 3 3/4 and 1 at 2 3/4. And then it's exactly the same principle again. So we just add some glue to the ends and make, oh dear, more fingers and thumbs. Make our bows. Just be mindful when you're doing this that you don't squash it, because if you get a crease here it's going to spoil it and it won't then bounce. And the same with this one. And then again just a tiny bit just to hold those two together. And then a good bit on your middle bit, which you just sit, like I said, in the centre. Wrap it round. This one's a tad longer so it will overlap. Give it a good press, and obviously give your bows your little bounce, as I call it. And then you just need to do your tails. Now you can either use the triple banner punch, but you're going to have to make sure that you do keep it. Oh, I've done that one the wrong way round. It was meant to be black. Never mind. Yeah, you can either do this one like this and just obviously ensure that you keep it central. If not, if you don't have the triple banner punch, the simplest way to do it is to just cut up the centre and then go from the corner to the top of the cut that you've made, and it just pulls your banner out. Now if you really are precise, you can measure this distance, which I regularly do if I'm doing a small banner. I do like to measure it just to make sure it looks equal, but that's just because I'm a bit obsessed with stuff like that. And then we just do the same again. So I'm grabbing hold of your tail ends, make sure you're happy with the placement of them. And when you are, I'm not happy with that one, when you are, that one's alright. That's it. I think it's probably the angle of the stripes on the paper that was confusing me then. And then once you're happy with that, back in with my faceted gems, and I'm just going to use the clear ones on this one. Oops, stuck to my hand. And there you have it, albeit that was meant to be black. But there you have your bows. And I think they are really cute. They're quick and easy. They use up your scraps of DSP, and they're lovely to go on present, because let's be fair, if you're going to make a box, you need to have a homemade bow on it or a homemade decoration, because then it ties it all in. And these are super easy and super quick to make. I didn't coil that one, did I? And they are beautiful. Super easy, super quick. Hope you enjoyed my little project today. Hope you have a great weekend, and I hope to see you all again soon. Bye!